Good evening. How you guys doing? How's it going? It's been a few days since I talked to y'all. So, lots of updates, lots of things going on. We're going to talk about them. We're switching it up today. We're not going to talk about God. We're not going to talk about philosophy. Nope. I don't think that's where we're at today with it. Instead, I want to talk to you about some things I got going on. And if you're tuning in, you obviously care about what's going on in my life, right? So stay tuned. I want to start with this thought I had and tell you guys about something. I had this dream about 10 days ago. And I can't remember any of it. None of it. But I woke up and I had this thought. And it was like, you could quit smoking weed. It was like somebody was yelling at me. It's probably a pretty good thing I can't remember that dream. But I came out of my dream and I just went and got high, right? I was like, quit smoking weed. I've been smoking weed for I don't know how long. I ain't going to stop. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I quit smoking weed 5 days ago. Almost got a week sober. Now, for all of you that may know me, I bet you just shit yourself. It's one thing to be intelligent. It's a whole nother thing to take intelligence seriously and not take the edge off. It's a whole different thing to have to deal with me sober. It's a good thing I got rid of all my fake friends because none of them would have liked me sober. The energy and the loudness that I have and the aura that I put off when I'm high pisses people off. You couldn't get within 50 feet of me right now without fucking hating life, I promise. And not because I feel negative, I feel great. Working out, eating healthy, sleeping in. Man, it's amazing. Dreaming every night. I'm having some vivid dreams. Oh man. I've gained full control of my dreams again, which hasn't been for a very long time. I used to do it when I was in prison. That's how I got through prison. They had me locked down during the day, but at night I was free. And I only had dreams about being back in prison about 4 times after I got out. Because my dreams are mine. So, 5 days sober. Almost quit smoking cigarettes too. We're right there at the gate. Then I'm going to be fully healed. It's good times. So I thought that was important to share that part with you. I thought that was pretty important. Thought everybody should be forewarned that not only am I sober, I'm starting to use parts of my mind I don't normally use because it's a waste of time. So, on we go with the conversation. Something else I want to talk to you about. Today I decided I'd had enough and I need money. I can't get disability to work. I've never had enough tax credits. And I don't qualify for anything, even though I'm fully disabled. Weird, right? So I'm in this quasi state of like, I can't work. It's not that I don't want to work, I can't work. My hands won't even work. The things I know how to do, I can only do for like an hour at a time, and I have to stop, sometimes for the whole day. I'm thinking about getting in a new career. I think I'm going to study law. I think becoming a lawyer is going to become part of my future. Crazy, right? But to become a lawyer, you got to have money. Got to be able to pay for your college. And I got the situation going on with my kids. Ain't nobody ever going to come save me. It's never happened before. No one's ever been the knight in shining armor in my life. I've always had to ride the horse. So I got back on my horse today. I was like, well, I got to figure something out. Desperation is the birth of innovation, is it not? See, because I got a real strict set of what I'm willing to do to earn money. It was always manual labor. I would trade my time for money to work. And I know people, that's a dumb way and you can make money. I think it's all corrupted. I think all the money making ways are fucking shit. Sorry about the language. And I don't participate in them. I think they're a joke. If I do become a lawyer, most of it's going to be pro bono and only to people that can't afford it. People with money can hire a different lawyer. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. But that's a future trip. Let's talk about the right now. See, I live on a farm. And most of the farmland is rented out. You know, it's still a grass seed farm. But the barns are empty. And the orchard empty. And the old pasture and the landing. Did you know that I have a landing here you can land a helicopter on? Literally. Huey. I have room for a fucking Huey to land on my property. On gravel, flat ground, guaranteed to land perfectly and safely. Did you know that? So I have this huge space. It's just this huge gravel and this huge piece of orchard. It's like 200 feet by 200 feet. So it's like 4,000 square feet. And that's just in the grass. Why is this important? Let me tell you. I've seen this post on my local, I'm part of all the local community boards. Got to be part of the local community. How are you going to stay plugged into the world if you're not listening to what people are saying, right? I'm kind of plugged into a lot of different places in a lot of different places. I don't know how else to explain that. I like to dip my toes into different areas of life, as it were. Anywhere from politics to religion to philosophy to fishing. Anywhere in between. And right now in my small town, they're trying to get the city, which is never going to happen, to put an RC track in. There's a bunch of enthusiasts, and in my area, I bet there's 1,000 people out of the 50 or 60,000 people within 60 miles of me. I bet there's 1,000 people that drive RC cars, and not just RC cars, but RC planes, and not just RC planes, but drones. So I started thinking about this. I'm in the countryside, so I can make noise. My neighbors, well, I'm not the biggest fan of my neighbors. So the idea of making all that noise from gas-powered vehicles didn't bother me at all. So I started looking into making an RC track today. Oh, weird, right? I started getting into it. Now, I don't know how you go about gathering your information, but I dive both feet in. And I went from thinking about it to getting a hold of the guy that has the biggest hobby shop within 100 miles of here for RC cars. And he's completely plugged into the whole community where I live. So we started talking today, and I started talking to him and telling him, hey, look, man, you know, I got the space, and let's talk about this. We're talking about tracks. And well, I think I'm going to start a business. I do. I think I'm going to start a business. So I started looking into it. And I'm going to do a drag strip for RC cars. And then I'm going to do a course with tabletops and jumps and the whole 9 yards. An entire 150 foot by like 100 foot, like a big track, huge track. And then I'm going to do a Formula One racing track right next to it, a big oval. So I was looking into this today. You know, you can get dirt for free. Used dirt, it's got rocks and stuff in it. It's refuse, but my dad's got a pickup, so I can haul the dirt. And I got a shovel. Even though my back's really bad, I could do small shovels a little bit at a time, I bet. And I think I'm going to start building an RC track. Now, why do you ask, would I build an RC track? Well, I found out how much it costs to go to an RC track. I figured it out. Membership a month is $175 at an indoor one. Can you imagine paying $175 to sit in an enclosed space, smelling the gas, and having to listen to the reverberation of all those engines? Oh, that would be terrible. And you got to pay $175 a month to go to that track. And you can't fly your RC planes. You can't fly drones. And an idea was born. I got a lot of people out there rooting for my downfall. At least 3. 2 of them stole my kids. And the only reason this has happened is I haven't been able to take her to court. There's no court order. It's just... So I need money. And I wish I knew enough about law that I could just file and go after it. But the thing is I have to make sure that all my I's are dotted, all my T's are crossed, and I have all and everything imperative to this situation because my kids deserve the best. And I'm okay that I'm limited and I'm not capable enough to do it myself. Little known fact, I've already defended myself twice in a court of law and won. I just wanted you to know that. I am intelligent. I just, if I missed one piece of paper or one fucking filing, if I missed one thing and lost my kids because of it, I'd never forgive myself. So I must come up with money. No matter what. So I found this idea. We got a tractor. I got to wait for the tractor to get fixed. It's supposed to get fixed this spring. So it's not like I'm getting started tomorrow. But that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an RC track for people to come and play on. And then I'm going to partner with the guy that owns the hobby shop for these guys and rake in money. And that's just on the RC car side. RC planes and drones, 136 acres for you to fly on and enjoy yourself and drive through trees. There's 30 feet of cleared trees underneath because we take care of our trees. They're for timber. We grow timber. We have 6.5 acres of timber. You can fly your RC car or your RC planes and your drones in. 6.5 acres of giant trees that are so much fun. What do you think? You like that? So today I wanted to inform you, in case you were worried about me, that I'm doing just fine. And I think I'm going to be able to charge $200 a person a month. And I think I'm going to be able to fight for my kids with that. Now, just in case you're like, well, what? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I haven't. I have a second plan that I'm doing as well. A second business, if you will. I told you weren't going to like my motivation once I was sober. So this farm I grew up on, it was homesteaded in 1892. And then 1927, it was bought by another family, and they planted all kinds of apple trees and stuff here. 1927. And then in 43, my grandparents got the farm, my dad's parents. It's been in the family ever since. So, Why is this imperative as well? Because I have 7 different kinds of apples that are heirloom variety. And unlike all you pesticide assholes, we're a real farm. We ain't never sprayed our trees. Which means if you want 100-year-old stock, 100-year-old stock of apples, Golden Delicious. No, I can't even remember all the names. I'm not even gonna pretend that I can remember all the names. They're out there. I'm starting a nursery here. I'm gonna fill an entire machine shed. And when I say an entire machine shed, for reference point, you can park 3 combines in my shed, side by side. They fit all the way in, door shuts behind them. That much space. 45 feet to the eaves. And I'm going to start a giant nursery for apple trees. And just for you alcohol lovers, I've got grapevines here, and they're this big around at the base. Because those grapes were planted in the 1940s, 37, 42. I am still a little foggy on whether they were here when we bought that place or if we planted as soon as we got the place. I don't know which it is. But I have purple grapes. I have purple grapes made for wine. And while these other people that make wine in the valley, who've got 15, 20-year-old vineyards, have you ever had a grape that's been growing for 80 plus years? Have you ever tried wine that was made with those grapes? Would you like to? And with that being said, you also will now be able to buy grape starts from me. The thing is, I've always been a farmer, growing things, making things pretty, providing for myself. It's always been part of the MO. Always. Always had enough for whatever I need to do. Always. Never needed anyone. Just how I've had to live life. It's how I've had to adjust. It's how I've had to have my experience, as it were. And I think it's just fabulous. I do. And I wanted to tell you so. I wanted you to see the joy in my heart for the multi-layered enterprise that I'm starting. I wanted you to know, because I'm sure my child's mom watches these videos. Your money's coming. So is a court date. You can bet on it. The biggest limitation been here is anytime I've ever tried to start a business, it's failed because I never could stay at this place long at all. Never could. I started a few businesses and they just died. But not this time. This time I got the go-ahead to check it out. So now I got something to do when I was just sitting around bored. Now I got something to put my mind to, so I opened it all the way up and got sober. And now I got to understand some zoning laws. And I got to understand what kind of business I can have here. I got to sit down with the lawyer somehow and get a clause written up so I can't be sued, can't be held liable, etc., the rules and whatnot and regulations. I'm going to figure it all out. So I'm going to. This isn't hard. This isn't rocket science. I excel at business. I just need a business plan. I excel at marketing. I just have to believe in the product. So that's where we're at. And although, like last few videos went off the deep end, I'm sure none of you believe me about Jesus, and that's okay. But that's my prerogative to speak on as I want to, because it's my philosophy page. It's how I view it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. definitely means that I said it a while ago and I still ain't been struck by lightning, so you figure that one out. But I just wanted to share this love with you and this joy. I wanted you to know that I wasn't waiting on anyone to help me. I wanted you to know that I wasn't waiting around for anyone to show up, ever. I wanted you to know that no matter who you are and how you feel about me, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. I've always been all right. And although there's been some definite time that I needed to just do nothing and heal and just get stoned and cry and think about things and readjust how I felt about so many things that had happened to me in my life, I'm done now. I've decided to pick up where I left off and just conquer the world. Step one is these couple of small businesses. Step two is getting my kids back. And step three is becoming a lawyer. 3-step plan's really simple. And I like law. Oh, I like arguing. Anyone that's ever met me, you know you don't want to argue with me. You might as well just quit. Because I'm not arguing to be stupid or because I'm dumb. I speak as quick as I think. And it's pretty quick. So, for anybody out there that's rooting for me, good job. Way to hold the faith. I appreciate you. You knew I'd figure it out. I always figure it out. For you, my viewer, there's nothing but larceny and hate in your heart for me. Still love you.